Central City was bustling with its usual energy as Barry Allen, the scarlet speedster known as the Flash, patrolled the streets. The sun was setting, casting an orange glow over the skyline. Just as Barry was about to call it a day, his communicator buzzed urgently. "Barry, we've got a situation." Caitlin Snow's voice crackled through. "There's an unusual energy surge coming from the outskirts of the city. It's off the charts." Without hesitation, Barry raced towards the source. As he approached, the sky grew darker, and an ominous feeling filled the air. He arrived at an old, abandoned factory where the energy readings were strongest. Inside, the air hummed with power, and in the center of the room stood a figure shrouded in shadows. The figure turned, revealing a familiar yet twisted face. It was Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash. But something was different. His eyes glowed with an eerie darkness. "Thawne, what are you doing here?" Barry demanded. Thawne grinned maliciously. "Hello, Barry. I've found a new source of power, the Dark Speed Force. With it, I can finally erase you and plunge the world into eternal darkness." Barry's heart pounded. The Dark Speed Force was a myth, a twisted counterpart to the Speed Force. If Thawne had harnessed it, the consequences could be catastrophic. "You won't get away with this, Thawne," Barry shouted. "We'll see about that." Thawne sneered, before speeding off in a blur of dark energy. Barry took off after him, the cityscape blurring around him. The chase led them through the streets of Central City, each step causing the environment to distort with dark energy. Thawne's newfound power gave him an edge, and Barry struggled to keep up. As they raced, Thawne sent bolts of dark energy towards Barry, who dodged them with incredible agility. The bolts struck buildings, causing explosions and chaos. Barry knew he had to end this chase quickly to prevent more destruction. The chase culminated at the Central City power plant. Thawne skidded to a halt, his dark aura crackling with malevolent energy. Barry arrived moments later, panting but determined. "This ends now, Thawne," Barry declared, his fists clenched. "Indeed it does," Thawne replied, his grin widening. He raised his hands, summoning a massive wave of dark energy that surged towards Barry. Barry tapped into the Speed Force, his body vibrating with pure energy. He countered Thawne's attack with a lightning bolt of his own. The two forces clashed, creating a blinding explosion of light and darkness. In the midst of the chaos, Barry realized that the only way to neutralize the Dark Speed Force was to create a speed vortex. It was a risky move, one that could trap both him and Thawne in the Speed Force forever, but Barry knew it was the only way to save the world. "Thawne, you'll never win," Barry said, his voice resolute. "I won't let you destroy everything I love." Before Thawne could react, Barry began to run in a circle, faster and faster, creating a powerful vortex. The dark energy swirled around him, pulling Thawne towards the center. Thawne screamed in rage, trying to escape, but it was too late. With a final burst of speed, Barry completed the vortex. The dark energy was sucked into the Speed Force, taking Thawne with it. The explosion of light and darkness faded, leaving Barry standing alone in the aftermath. The city was safe, but the battle had taken its toll. Barry emerged from the power plant, exhausted but triumphant. He knew that Thawne was trapped in the Speed Force, but the Dark Speed Force was still out there, a lingering threat. Back at STAR Labs, Caitlin and Cisco greeted him with relief. "Barry, you did it! You saved the city," Caitlin said, hugging him tightly. "But at what cost?" Barry replied, his voice heavy with fatigue. "Thawne is gone, but the Dark Speed Force is still a danger. We need to find a way to neutralize it for good." As Barry looked out over the city he had sworn to protect, a sense of unease settled over him. The battle against Thawne was over, but the war against the darkness had just begun. Somewhere in the shadows, a new threat was waiting, and Barry knew he had to be ready. The Flash would always be there to protect Central City, but the challenges ahead were unlike anything he had faced before. The Dark Speed Force was a reminder that even in victory, the battle against evil never truly ended.